Good morning and welcome to Charlie's Tech Talk Season 2.
To make that clear for everyone, this is recorded.
Brilliant. And is that a real background from your window, Sebastian, or is that a custom one?
I wish.
James, you've got 2 and 4-year-old kids to avoid. I guess I've got a slightly older partner to avoid in that sense.
We'll definitely add that to the agenda. I'm just conscious on time running out here.
I'm Corinne Moy, VP of Marketing Science at GfK. So we are a sort of global network organised into regional teams. And we also have, so we've got sort of 6 regional teams. We've also got a central development team as well. Talk a bit more about that later. But I lead those teams.
Hi, I'm Géraldine Frappier. I'm heading the marketing science in West and Southern Europe. Dealing with regional
projects. I'm James Pitcher. I'm a director in the UK marketing science team. So I do a lot of work for the UK Northern Europe region, but also do a lot of global development work. I've been with GfK about over 8 years now, so quite a while.
Okay, hey, this is Sibasis. I am based out of India, part of the APAC marketing science team, catering to regional projects of the APAC region, and I've been in GfK for 1.5 years now.
Yeah, and I'm Alexandra. I'm in the central development team that Corinne mentioned before. I'm originally from Romania. I'm based in Germany, and I'm already with GfK since 2014. So 7 years almost. Yeah, it's quite a lot.
So a really diverse team here. You know what we've got 2 people in Germany, 1 in France, 2 from the UK, and 1 in India as well. So I guess that quite naturally leads us on to the first question. You know, how have you guys who are already distributed, did COVID impact you guys much at all, or was the working patterns very much remaining the same?
Working wise, it has not been a big challenge, at least for me. For the people, it was because they joined in as new, like it was the day 1 in GfK and it was remote, right? So they don't know about GfK and they don't know about who they are going to work with. So it was a bit shaky for them to start in such times within the organization. But I think within few weeks, everyone got used to it, and we tried to connect every day to stay in touch, not just related to work, how also they are going about their daily activities, so that their transition and their learning phase in the initial days of GfK is as smooth as possible. Yeah.
So you encountered a kind of remote onboarding challenge initially. Yeah. So did you find you had to get a lot more detailed when it came to planning their onboarding? Did you have to document more, or did you use maybe some new tools that helped you to onboard them seamlessly?
Yeah, so actually prior to this, we didn't had any set template or any plan. We just used to have face-to-face sessions to give them the onboarding and things like that. But especially due to the situation, what we did was we used Confluence really well. We documented everything and kind of created modules for them to go and self-learn. And once a week, they can come back to us with questions or anything they have. They have the freedom to reach out on any given time, but we dedicated that 1 hour time frame for them to ask questions after their self-learning is done. And obviously we try to mix a self-learning along with a mock project, things like that. But this is something which we had to develop really quickly because this was not existing, and due to the remote onboarding situation, we had to do this, and it is now good in a way that in future any new joinees can use it. So one-time development, and it can be used for many more years to go. Yeah.
So already then evidence of kind of new working practices that you're now going to incorporate and keep moving forward. And that's really great to hear about, Sibasis. Thank you for that. Does anyone else have any examples of potentially kind of new working methods, whether it's, new documentation approaches, new tooling approaches that have arose for you guys in your different areas within the marketing science team?
I was working from home for 2 years already before Corona. And I can tell you that like after 2 years work from home, I was planning to come back in office. It was just too much for me. And now Corona happened. So I feel like much more affected, I guess, than the other colleagues because I have all this history of working from home. So I just want to come back in office and I would appreciate it to happen as soon as possible.
So you're a seasoned remote working professional, but quite interesting there to hear a real desire to get back into the office. What is it that you miss about the office?
Well, the connection with the colleagues, this is definitely something that I'm missing. Working on development, you all the time to have those creative workshops, which I found a little bit difficult to organize online. So these are the two things which definitely will benefit of being back in office.
Yeah, I think also, Charlie, that because we work with the commercial business in the regions, it's not just about us working within our own teams. We do a lot of consultancy with the business, so particularly with the sales guys and the the client solution group. So we're helping them with proposals, client interactions, and so on. And so actually our span of relationships is much wider than our immediate team. And I think it's that's more difficult to maintain because there's a level of reactivity to it. So people would typically wander over to your desk and chat to you about a problem. And it's that kind of stuff that doesn't happen. Yeah. And I think it's harder work and more work to try and preserve that. Yeah, but the big new tool that we all have, of course, in a way we haven't had to go out and find new tools because IT have provided us just at the right time with Microsoft Teams. And I think if you think about how we operate now, if we hadn't had Teams, we would have had real issues and we would have definitely relied more on Confluence, which although it's great, it's a bit clunky. So Teams has come at just the right time for us, I think.
And if I can testify on that as well. So us in France, we started going back to the office in June, at the beginning of June. So having this system of, having two teams, so you don't meet everyone. And immediately, as soon as you go back to the office, you start having the informal chats that we just mentioned. And well, you can think that maybe, it's not productive time, but actually it is, because obviously you start by talking about whatever, your family or how was the period or whatever, but then immediately after you swap to business questions that are probably more difficult and that are easier to be said in an informal way. While maybe you wouldn't pick up your phone or your Teams to contact with these people and have this chat. So I think this is something that you have when you're going to the office.
Yeah, and also for more junior members of staff, the learning experience. So in marketing science, we have quite a lot of formal learning programs and stuff, but sort of the everyday sort of picking up things from other people, being able to ask little questions in here, because when you're working remotely, sort of, if you've got a little question, it becomes more of a big deal because you have to sort of message someone or email them or phone them. So whereas if you're in the office, you can just quickly ask them when someone's sitting next to you. It's much more.
Yeah, I'm fully with you, and it's very interesting to hear that actually, because you kind of miss out, let's say, from those day-to-day interactions, which, as you touched on there, Geraldine, can grow into something so much more and actually something quite productive for your work and keeping you all on track. So, Corinne, how did you find your work with your clients, both internal and external, affected?
I think with external clients, obviously, if you don't have to travel to clients, that saves time. Where we have client interactions generally. We are part of a project team, so the organisation of those interactions, if they're more formal, are arranged by, commercial or client solutions. So in a sense, it hasn't been any more painful for us. It's also, I think, given us a kind of license to have more casual drop-in conversations with clients where we need to through the progress of a project, rather than feeling you have to arrange a face-to-face meeting. You can just drop on a sort of 30-minute call and clear stuff up, and that helps the relationship in a sense, because you can ask the questions that you need to dig into to optimize what you're doing for them in a way that's more casual, less formal, it makes the process easier.
So just picking up the point of interacting with clients, we've had some really good recent video calls with clients, and I think this is something that will hopefully continue in the future, though, where when we call clients they're always just over the phone, but now since lockdown there's been much more video conferencing, and I think that will continue more in the future, both externally with clients and also internally with other members of the team, because I think people just got much more comfortable with having video calls.
Definitely, it's almost become the new norm, hasn't it? And it's almost bizarre now to have a call where you can't see the other person.
Yeah, but the benefit to this is actually since in Corona, like more and more people are still willing to share their camera, like compared to before. If I would have like somebody sharing their camera, I would be like, wow. Now it's like a new norm. Everybody's sharing the camera, and it's in the same way it brings element of familiarity. So you connect better because you see the person in a very casual dress, their home environment. So it creates a little bit more bond, this emotional bond. I think the video definitely it's helping.
And we always had videos where suddenly there's a kid behind or someone else, or
I think
that makes the thing more casual, as you said, Alex.
Yeah, I met the family members of a lot of colleagues. I met animal pets and so on. My cat, she's like jumping around all the time, but she is not now here. So
that's a shame. You should have invited her.
She was outside in the rain, and I had to open the door to let her in.
Yeah. And you get to be nosy and see what people's houses look like.
Yeah.
Yeah, there have been lots of sort of walking tours of houses or flats, or people showing off their gardens and what have you. So yeah, that's definitely fun.
Also really great to see how you guys are not just dealing with chaos caused by COVID, but actually taking new ways of working to move forward with that's maybe going to strengthen you guys as a whole. So I've really enjoyed the conversation and some of the points we touched on earlier, like seeing how you guys have actually really drove some positives out of the change, and predominantly around those strengthening relationships. I think that's really something that you guys as a team should be proud of, and something maybe a little bit more unique to you guys actually, because we've not had that sentiment shared by other teams, so that's really interesting. But yeah, look, with that said, thank you so much everyone. Thank you for watching. We hope you enjoyed the content. If you'd like to learn more about GFK or join one of our global teams, why not check out our website and careers page, or one of the many social media channels displayed around the screen. Take care and see you on the next video.